Welcome to the Royal Calcutta Turf Club Calcutta Races Monsoon Meeting, third day, Wednesday, 11th October 2023, the Colts and Fillies Trial Stakes Day. The first race of the afternoon is the Free Energy Handicap for horses rated 1 to 26 to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. We got 6 runners lining up for the opening event. The first runner is Shea, who has had a win, which was in race number 127, where it got the measure of asterisk. The run we are looking at is from the winter season in race number 157, where it was installed the favorite. As you can see in the white and the black jacket towards the inside, it was almost in second spot as they entered the last 200 meters. Then despite the jockey's urging, it started to fall back, eventually finished on 5th. Of 6 runners, the winner here was Dream Station. Number 2, Sandrin, who's had 4 starts in the winter season, started off well in first start. It had in race number 31, where it finished on 3rd. Since then, it finished on a 4th and a couple of 6th. This run was in race number 158, where it was traveling in 6 spots throughout and eventually finished on 6th. The winner here was Torino, who won that race by about 3.5 lengths. Number 3 is Thalame. Thalame, having started in race number 47 over 1400 meters, where it was in 6th spot, as you can see, and then it started to move up down the center with raking strides, but the race was as good as over. All Thalame could do was come out and finish on 3rd to Sun Gold, almost 6 lengths from the winner. Number 4 is Regan. Regan had quite a few starts in the winter season. It has finished on board a few times. This start we are looking at is from race number 145, where it went over 1400 meters. It was in 3rd spot for most while, and then Regan eventually came up with a run, but there was nothing which came out of it and eventually finished on last of 5 runners. The winner here was Asterisk. Number 5 is Ticker. Ticker has made a habit out of traveling a little wide into the race, and this time it took the inside passage, as you can see in the purple with the white panel, and then came up to challenge the leader, but then eventually ran out of gas and eventually finished on 3rd. The winner here was Asterisk, who won that race by almost 3.5 lengths. Number 6 is Chetak, who's already had a couple of starts in the season. First up in race number 1, it was in 2nd spot, then weakened and finished on 3rd of 5 runners in his last start. It went on a start to finish mission and was leading the pack into the last 250 meters, then ran out of gas, threw in the towel and eventually finished on 2nd last of 5 runners. The winner here was UV, who won that race by almost half a length. We move on to the second race of the afternoon, the Andrada Handicap for horses rated 61 to 86, rated 41 to 66, eligible to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. This is practically a repeat for the 10th race of the season, where entire 5 runners are taking on each other again. True Marshall, who was the impressive winner of this race, went on a start to finish mission, and True Marshall was given a breather as he entered the home straight. Morning Star was catching up on True Marshall, then Suraj Naidu released the brakes an inch at a time, and True Marshall absolutely kicked away. Couple of eye-catching runners in this race. Basharat, who was a little slowly out of the gates, came up with a late surge and finished on 3rd. Morning Star, who kept on finding something and finished on 2nd. Hidden Gold perhaps needed that run, and Forever Together ran on 5th. Moving on to the third race of the afternoon, the Bountiful Talent Handicap for horses rated 41 to 66, rated 21 to 46, eligible to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. We got 6 runners lining up for this one. The first runner is Rimmel, recent winner Rimmel, after having an airing in race number 3, where it finished on 3rd behind Galacticus. In race number 7, where it was installed the on money favorite, it went on the start to finish mission, and P. Sai Kiran absolutely rode hands and heels, and Rimmel kicked away from the field, won that race by almost 4 lengths, beating Mandolin in 2nd. Number 2 is Rodrigo, a recent import. The run we are looking at is from the Mumbai season, where in race number 135, Rodrigo was in front as they entered the last 250 meters and then kept on battling on and eventually finished on a close third in a three-way finish. The winner here was superlative. Number 3 is Jean Lafette. Couple of starts for Jean Lafette already in this season. First up in race number 3, it finished on 6th. Then in race number 12, the one we are looking at, it was in last spot as they entered the home straight. Circled the field, came wide of the track, then kept on finishing on the wide outside. But the race was already over. Good Tip had stolen a march, and Jean Lafette did the next best thing, finished on 2nd. Number 4, Horace the Great has had 4 starts since moving from Western India, earlier known as Pisa. Horace the Great has had 4 placed efforts so far. In his last start in race number 133, it was in 4th spot as they entered the home straight, was brought down the center as you can see on the top screen, in the black and white jacket, and eventually finished on 3rd to Indian Tiger. Number 5 is Whistleblower. This run we are looking at is from this season, where in race number 2, Whistleblower was on a start to finish mission, but as they entered the last 250 meters, almost ran out of gas and eventually finished on 6th of 6 runners. The winner here was Sea Eagle, who won that race by almost 3/4 of a length. Number 6 is East Side. East Side, after having a start in race number 6, where it was a little slowly out of the gates, came wide and eventually finished on 3rd. In this start, in race number 11, East Side took an even jump, was in 3rd spot as they entered the home straight, then into the last 100 meters, absolutely started to flourish home and won that race by almost 2 1/4 lengths, beating Lord Lucifer into 2nd. We move on to the 4th race of the afternoon. First of the 2 big races we have, the Calcutta Fillies Trial Stakes for Indian fillies 3-year-old only, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. We got 4 runners lining up for the Fillies Trial Stakes. The first runner we look at is Dance Along. Dance Along is Sanus per Aquam out of Dance's Fan. Couple of starts for Dance Along so far in its career. First up in the winter season, it finished on 3rd in race number 102 behind Nautica. In its first start of the season, Dance Along was placed in 3rd spot as they entered the home straight. Dance Along was given the free rein, drifted out slightly onto the outside of the track, but won very impressively nonetheless, and Anthony Raj repeats the mount. Number 2 is Galacticus. After moving down from southern India, Galacticus, its first start, it was in a pocket for a while into the last 300 meters. Then Suraj Naidu pulled it out and gave it clear room, and the rest was done by Galacticus, who kept on galloping on. Today, Yash Naidu gets back on Galacticus. Number 3 is Long Lease. Long Lease, in a short career, 4 starts, is already winner of 3 of them. In the start we are looking at is from Mysore, where Long Lease was a little tardily away, and then into the home straight was in 4th spot and took charge into the last 150 meters and won that race in a very, very impressive fashion, beating Brave Trooper. Number 4 is Sea Eagle. Sea Eagle in race number 2. This was his first start after moving from southern India. It was in 5th spot as they entered the home straight, and then as Zarwan asked Sea Eagle to gallop, it soon came up abreast 26 Black. They got into a duel for about 4 or 5 stride, and then Sea Eagle started to assert and won that race by almost 3/4 of a length. We move on to the 5th race of the afternoon, the Calcutta Colts Trial Stakes for Indian Colts and Gelding, 3-year-old only, to be run over a distance of 1400 meters. 5 runners take part in the Calcutta Colts. The first runner we are looking at is the number 1 Clifford and number 3 La Dominate. They both ran in race number 3, where the winner was Galacticus, and Clifford, who was leading the pack and then ran out of steam of sort, perhaps needed this run on the first start it had on the Calcutta Monsoon track, and eventually finished on 4th. La Dominate, who took charge and was fluttering for a while, but there was a late surge by Galacticus, and La Dominate finished on 2nd. Couple of runners again. Number 2 is Hornbill. Number 4 is Power Racer. They both ran in race number 4, where Hornbill was a little tardily out, took the turn in 4th spot, but then started to gallop on into the last 200 meters and eventually finished an eye-catching 3rd. Number 4, Power Racer, who took the turn in 5th spot, stayed on in 5th, as you can see towards the inside in the light green and white spots, and Power Racer finished on 5th. The winner here was Dance Along. Number 5 is Torino, who's had 3 starts so far. Torino was winner of race number 158, where it got the measure of Calcutta by almost 3.5 lengths. Over here, Torino was in 3rd spot as they entered the home straight. For a while, got into a duel with 26 Black, but then it started to hang in and eventually finished on 3rd. The winner here was Sea Eagle, who got the measure of 26 Black, and Torino finished on 3rd. Moving on to the 6th race of the afternoon, the Calcutta Monsoon Sprint for horses 4-year-old and over, to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. 4 runners went up against each other in race number 5. That was Awesome One, Full Volume, Delfini and Monfortino. Definitely Delfini and Monfortino were the top 2 in that race. Monfortino went on a start to finish mission and kept on finding something, but the late surge by Delfini, who practically walked past Monfortino. Delfini will definitely be the one for your notebook. Number 1, Awesome One, who ran a little of an indifferent race, was in 8th spot, came up with a run on the wide outside and eventually finished on 6th. And lastly, number 2, Full Volume, who was in 4th spot, finished on 3rd. Number 3 is Savvy Chick. Savvy Chick had a win in the Bangalore summer season in race number 68, where it got the measure of Palace Vendôme. In next start, the one we are looking at in race number 131, where it was in 6th spot. Then when asked for an effort, Savvy Chick didn't really have much to offer, eventually finished on 8th of 10 runners. The winner here was Siege Courageous. Number 5 is Golden Oaks. Golden Oaks, the run we are looking at is from the Bangalore summer season in race number 128, where Golden Oaks was taking on the mighty Northern Lights. But Golden Oaks, after racing in 2nd spot for most while, eventually threw in the towel and eventually finished on 8th of 10 runners. And the winner here was Northern Lights. We move on to the 7th and last race of the day, the Arezzo Handicap for horses rated 21 to 46, rated 1 to 26, eligible to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. We got 4 runners going to post for this one. The first starter is Dragon's Gold. This start we are looking at from the Mysore season, where Dragon's Gold was racing in 4th spot. This was in race number 36 in the Mysore season, and Dragon Gold did not make any further improvement after racing in 4th. It finished on 4th of 15 runners. The winner here was Top Dancer. Couple of runners went up against each other in race number 8. That's Ghost and Jinsuku. Ghost was in 4th spot and stayed on in 4th, did not make any further improvements after racing up down the center. Number 3, Jinsuku, went on a start to finish mission. This was Jinsuku's 2nd start, and Jinsuku ran out of gas into the last 250 meters and eventually finished on 5th of 5 runners. The winner here was Jawai, who won that race rather impressively. Number 4 is 67. The start we are looking at is from the winter season, where 67, who is a daughter of Win Legend out of Amiras, was in 4th spot and eventually weakened and finished on last of 7 runners. The winner here was Sweet Legacy, who won that race rather impressively. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. See you at the races.